Hey, cheer class. I want you to see on this question why the multiple choices here. We want a sine function. Okay, so that's not going to be the reason that there's two equations. Like we have one that's a sine, one's the cosine with a shift, which is true. We could get it two equations that way, but this specifically says a sine, so we need a sine in there somewhere. Okay, so even though it says sine or cosine, they want sine. Okay, it specifically calls out sine right there. So that's not the reason why we could potentially have two equations. The reason why we have two equations is all it says is the amplitude is 2. Because the amplitude is 2, that means that I could have had a positive 2 in front of the sine, or I could have had a negative 2, because again, to get amplitude, we take the absolute value of the number in front of the sine. So the reason is because of b. There are two equations. One, when a is negative, would be y equals negative 2 sine. Now we got to get the period. Okay, the period being 4 pi. Remember, the period is typically 2 pi. So we take, to get the period, we take 2 pi and divide by the number that's going to be in front of x, the next number that I put in. And so if I divide 2 pi by a number and get 4 pi, then I multiplied by 2, right? So I divided by half. So the number I need here is 1/2 in front of the x. All right. Now I'm just going to copy all of this. All right, copy, paste, and I'm just taking the negative away. You could actually just not selected the negative, and that would have worked out just fine. All right, so there are the two equations, one with a being positive and one with a being a negative number.